everybody. Welcome to our podcast. I'm Kristen.
I'm Neela, and we're both third-year students in the music industry arts and performance program. So, Kristen, let's get to know you a little bit first. What stream are you in?
Yes, I'm in the tech stream. Very interesting. I'm learning a lot.
And I'm in the business stream, so we got two different perspectives here, from the business point of view and from the sound engineering point of view.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So today, on this episode, we're going to be talking about the music industry and whatnot. So yeah.
Let's get started. Okay, I think you wanted to talk about sampling.
Yes, sampling. Yes. So first, let's talk about what is a sample.
What is a sample?
Okay. What's your definition of a sample, Neela?
I would say it's kind of... It's hard to actually explain a word that you use all the time to actually break it down because you're so used to saying the word sample without really thinking of the context. But I think in this context, it's taking a little piece of something and just testing it out to see how it works with your project. So, for example, when you're cooking or you're getting people to try your food, you give them samples of the food so that way they can see how it tastes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's an interesting way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. See how it adds to the flavor and the taste.
Yeah. How it relates to music, like music-wise. So, for me, my opinion, sampling is like taking a piece of someone else's work musically and just using it in a different creative way for your own music, you know? So yeah, it's like adding a little flavor of somebody else's music into your own to make it something else. Sampling, it definitely happens a lot nowadays. I feel like all the new songs coming out nowadays, like they're all sampled. Especially if you listen to like R&B or hip hop and rap, like there's a lot of 90s music that's sampled and whatnot. But yeah.
I honestly think that it's not just R&B, hip hop, rap. I think it's also starting to get a little bit more into pop and pop music too, because you can see a lot of new up and cutting pop artists. Where are Neela's first today? Pop artists sampling from others. What would you say is a good example of sampling in today's music?
Oh, let me think. What song?
Ooh, okay. I got one, and it's a song that everyone either loves a lot or hates a lot at this point. Good for you, Olivia Rodrigo. You can hear a sampling of Paramore's Misery Business in that. Also, I think... very, very famous example. Gold Digger, Kanye West. Features little bits of Jamie Foxx singing, I got a woman, she's good to me. But yeah, I honestly... Yeah. That is probably one of the greatest examples of sampling.
Because honestly, if you're not familiar with like music from like way back in the day, you won't even realize that your favorite hot song right now is, sampling another popular song. Exactly. So yeah. I don't have an issue with sampling. It just makes, gives the song a little sprinkling of something else. Kind of takes you back, nostalgia.
Definitely nostalgia. And I think like that's like the greatest part about like our favorite songs is that it brings you a sense of nostalgia because of the memories associated with it. So let's see. For me, I think who is somebody that gives me nostalgia? Oh, anytime I listen to Demi Lovato's song, I'm like flashed back to like my early teens. Yeah. Karaoke in the bedroom, singing at the top of my lungs, heart attack, making my parents think I'm actually going through something.
I want my own karaoke machine, but I heard they're pretty expensive.
Oh, they're so expensive, but oh my god, if you own the karaoke machine, you would be the life of the party. You'd be that house that everyone goes to.
Yeah, me and my friends, we like karaoke.
So are my friends. We have that in common. Let's see, what else could we talk about? Ooh. Speaking of the music industry and music, I definitely think it's changed a lot over the years. Speaking of the nostalgia, and because there's music that we're so used to growing up, and then when you look at the music history, it's so different with every generation and every age group.
The sound has definitely changed music wise. I've also noticed that a lot of artists, they don't box themselves in one genre. Like
Very
a lot of
true.
them, they start off maybe like, like Doja Cat. I feel like she's an
Yeah.
artist. She's so versatile. She can do pop, she can do rap. Very
She had-
versatile.
Say Soul's like very like disco retro, like bringing back those 70 vibes. And then if we're taking somebody a little bit like older, Taylor Swift literally started
Yeah,
off
she
as
started
a
off as country,
started with country,
and then
got into like pop, and now she's
Wow.
kind of doing a little bit of a cross
exactly
of those two, you know, kind of, going back to her old roots, but still keeping sort of a poppy sound. Speaking of, there's also a lot of fusion.
And even Ariana Grande, because remember her last album, Thank You Next, when
Oh,
she
yeah.
did Seven Rings, that was more hip hop.
That's like a little bit more of
You
like
know?
the beat
Yeah.
something more like a trap vibe.
Because she does like some R&B and pop, especially with her new album now. There's like a lot of
That'd be very R&B pop, really, no, very pop based, especially like 34, 35. Which if you're under the age of 18, don't listen to it.
yeah. Yes.
It's very pop. It's very much a pop anthem.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I guess a lot of artists are like doing away with the whole being signed to a label. There's a lot of independent artists.
A lot of big
like
artists who've gone.
Chance the Rapper. I heard he's independent.
A lot of artists who are now going independent after years and years of being with a label. So
Yeah.
again, like bringing up Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift actually both left their labels to do independent work.
Oh, she left. Ariana Grande left.
So yeah, there we go. You learn more. So I believe after the release of, I think it was after the release of either Dangerous Woman or Sweetener, she left her label. She left
with
Scooter
Scooter
Braun's
Braun?
label, and she's now doing her own stuff, which is really good. And actually, I think that going independent, and this is something that I picked up as a business student, actually gives you a lot of benefits. Because you know how when you first start, you're so desperate to like make a name that you literally go for those big labels because you know they're going to take you to where you want to be. I often find that because like you go so quickly and so eagerly, you almost forget to like be keep your vision clear and what you want clear, because I think one of the reasons why these artists last is because like their labels sort of push an image that they don't want.
Exactly, yeah. Because they're like, oh no, this is what's gonna make you popular. This is what's gonna make you the top star, you know? That's the label's main focus.
And like,
Yeah.
and with that too, especially like younger artists who have no idea how to look over a contract, there's also
Yep.
some financial stuff and some other
Yes,
stuff.
and owning your masters, that's very important. As an artist, own your masters.
Yes, do not have a Taylor Swift Scooter Braun debate. Yeah.
Speaking of like owning your masters and labels, with the music industry comes, some controversy,
Yes, lots of controversy.
Because at the end of the day, artists are human beings. Some of them start really young
Like Justin Bieber.
and are thrown into the spotlight. So
Justin Bieber was 13.
yes.
Shawn Mendes was 15, 16. He was, fun fact, growing up in the same town as him. Shawn was literally in his grade 10, grade 11 year when he got signed for the very first time, and literally spent 3 years of high school doing online school while he was touring around the world with, I think he opened for Taylor Swift, did he not?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but he was touring at 16 while still trying to do
yes.
school, and there was rumors he came to graduation, but that was the only time he came back to high school after he got big.
And especially for young artists, like the ones that start off like really young, like 15, 16, they go through these phases where they want the bad girl, bad boy image, and then
Pee on the neighbor's yard up to the point where they get banned from China.
yeah, and then eventually
peeps.
when they get older, they want to break out of that little kid role, not role, but like you know how people know them as that like the little
Especially,
kid.
I want to bring this up. Disney stars, Disney
Yes.
singers who started off who got their big break with Disney. Selena
Yes.
Gomez, Demi Lovato,
Mhm.
Miley Cyrus,
Mhm.
3 girls. Selena, definitely was a little bit more milder. Demi went a little bit more rebellious, but not as bad. But Miley, the moment she finished Hannah Montana, just
She was
went.
like, I'm grown. I'm leaving Hannah Montana behind.
And so we get the
She's
Cannot
like,
Be
Hannah
Tamed
Montana's
phase.
dead. Listen, I liked Hannah. I like that show. Okay?
My childhood.
I still like Miley Cyrus as an artist. I still do.
We stand her in this household. We
Yeah.
do, but definitely like
She's obviously done some things where I'm like, Miley. But, you know.
2013 VMAs.
Yeah. Her twerking phase. But even that, twerking is popular now, but like,
Back then, it was so taboo.
yes. And that too, like, that's what has changed with the music industry. When we're seeing the music videos, it's like I'm seeing the same music videos with the same dancing, like twerking. It's like twerking is like in every music video nowadays. I'm just
What
like,
can I say? If you got it, flaunt it.
I know, but I just, you know, I don't mind it sometimes, but it's like when every song, like every Cardi B song, well, that's because Cardi B, you know.
I
Cardi
heard
B.
that apparently, and this is like in the early 2010s, Billy Ray Cyrus redid "Achy Breaky Heart," but he had like half naked girls twerking in the video, and that's a dang country song. Dang country song.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I remember when Lil Nas X first came out with Old Town Road, and it was like country hip hop. Wow. And now, like, I see, because like sometimes I watch country music awards just a little bit, some of them little, not like the full thing, but like I see some performances, and there's more like black country artists out there now, because usually, you know, country music is mostly like white artists, but now I see that there's like more black artists, you know, coming to that genre.
Me
which is
too.
nice, you know, like I like diversity, like, you know.
And you know what? So I am a little bit of a YouTube nerd. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna expose myself or myself under the bus, whatever you want to say. I watch YouTube, and there is this black country artist. And I remember he's saying that if you actually look back to the roots of country, it actually derives from soul, from blues. It derives from people of color, and that technically people of color were the first people to be singing country music until it became predominantly white.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you know.
Yep.
Would you say that nowadays there's more controversy, or would you say that there was more controversy like in previous generations?
I feel like now there might be more controversy because where we're at today, people, what should I say? Not that people are easily offended, but like, how should I say
I think I know what you're going on.
Like, you have to be careful what you say and what you do, because now people are able to speak out on whatnot. So, oh gosh.
Shout out to Link Studios for their amazing chairs.
Okay.
I think like with, and I was, funny enough, I was actually watching a video last night about this too. It's that in today's day and culture, like, people are so quick to jump the gun and say, you're doing something wrong. You need to do
or
this.
that was offensive or whatnot.
Yeah,
so,
it's people start to take offense a lot more easily, and sometimes it's hard because. I'm gonna bring another topic in. When somebody is doing something inappropriate, I think that's the biggest thing with controversies, that oftentimes people find that someone's doing something inappropriate, and today, what's considered inappropriate is starting to come, like, everything's considered inappropriate almost, depending on what your definition of it is. So,
yeah,
an example of this, and I was watching this show called The Real, daytime, one of my favorite shows.
I watched that one.
Yes, I love them. Okay, so Adam Sandler, and this is like an old interview from years ago, but people were starting to call Adam Sandler, who's a very well-known and very great actor, because he just casually rested his hand on an actress's knee, and people thought that that was sexual harassment, even though the actress's reps, I forget the actress's name, went on to say, I think it's Claire something, I'm losing the name, but the actress's rep went on to say, Claire has said this is not sexual harassment. She knew he was joking around. It's like people like in the show they talk about how people made a big deal out of it, saying he's a predator, he's attacking her. But if you look at old footages, Adam Sandler just has this thing where sometimes when he's talking and he gets really into the conversation, he goes like this because he's like trying to hold himself and get his point across. And it's like I feel like a lot of situations like that, people, that's like probably the biggest controversy. It's like, is this person doing something wrong to that person? And if so, speak out on it now. Because I think also that comes from a time where, you know, people didn't speak out because if they spoke out, it was bad. And now it's become like, if you don't speak, you have to speak out no matter what the situation is.
And that also brought me to like the whole cancel culture.
And that's another thing, cancel culture. People are so quick to cancel because they feel like someone's doing something like that.
Everybody has a right to their own opinion. An opinion is an opinion. It's somebody's personal opinion, okay? It's not facts. It's not based off of like facts or whatever. It's just a person's personal opinion. So, like, I'm fine with that. But with the whole cancel culture, if you at least did something that was like offensive or hateful or whatnot, or said something like of that sort, and you actually like apologize, you actually mean it, and you actually apologize for it, and you make changes, and you change that behavior, like, then I feel like, you know, people should be, what's the word I'm looking for?
People need to be more open-minded and more open-hearted to and be able to see the other person's perspective, I think. And
because nowadays we're so quick to like cancel everybody. Obviously there's some people it's like, okay, you
like it's okay too, but like I think at the same time you have to really, another thing too, know what the full story, because there's always what he said, what she said,
there's always
and
like
that
this
third bystander,
this
that
little snippet that you see on the internet and you're like, oh my god, tell me.
And that's, you know what? That brings up another point, is that a lot of cancel culture comes from influencers, but the truth is, with influencers, it's only, the video may only be like, they could be doing like a whole bunch of stuff throughout the day. They could have like a full 12, 16-hour day planned, but the internet and the world only gets to see 15 to 30 minutes of that day. So whatever you see in those, and even then it's like bits and pieces, like 5 seconds to like 5-minute bits of like what happened. So people need to understand that there's more to what goes on in a person's life, and sometimes like people are choosing to put what they feel comfortable posting. Like, I'm not gonna say like I'm a vlogger, I'm gonna post like us shaming out in the car to Doja Cat. I'm not gonna post me doing my groceries. Maybe I would, but I'm not gonna post me doing my homework for like 5 hours. Like, no one wants to see that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's that, and just like there's always really like if like the cancels like over an argument, which is happens a lot. There's always what he said, a what she said, and the truth. And you need to know all the sides, all the facts, all the stories before you go and cancel somebody.
They say there's 3 sides to every story. But yeah, I just thought of a question. So for you, Neela, so when it comes to music videos, are you a person who likes music videos, or are you just like the song itself?
I think it also depends. For me, I like it, but definitely like it has to be like, they're like the theme or the concept has to like connect with me in a way. Like, let's see, Old Town Road, I loved it. I love the theme of that video, and I bring it up because like it is really cool to see, like, you know, it starts off like old school Wild West movie, and then boom, you're in this urban neighborhood. So it's like you can see like the crossover from country into like urban hip hop, and just seeing how that kind of blends together. And like honestly, I love when the music video has a story and a concept behind it, because it's like it adds more to it creates a really cool narrative, and you can like see the song as a narrative in that way.
Yeah, like I love watching music videos. Some music videos I'm like, it doesn't even go with the song, you know?
Like
And some
Pillow
music
Talk.
videos,
What was Pillow Talk's video about, Zayn?
oh, that video. Like, oh my god, sorry about the chair. It's noisy. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Cuz it's just the visuals, like I like to see the visuals as well as listen to the music. It just creates this beautiful harmony. You know what song actually came to mind? Katy Perry's song "Wide Awake." That music video.
Oh my
I
god.
loved it.
I think we can all agree that Katy Perry has some of the best music videos out there, because her concepts are off the charts. And Lady Gaga too.
Yes, Lady Gaga.
Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, two of the most iconic fashion, music, and cinematography in people in the world.
And I like that, like, if a song is more emotional and sentimental, like the artist shows that, you know, the raw emotions. I like that. You know, like in Rihanna's music video "Stay."
I was thinking that,
She was
and
like crying and, you know, tearing up at points.
okay, Adele's "Hello" and "Someone Like You" videos. Do they not tug at your heartstrings? Because they tug at mine.
Because like when I see the video and I listen to the song, I'm like, I want to feel what you're feeling.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah. So yeah, music videos are important to me. I like the visuals. What else?
What else? So, speaking of creative, do you think that a lot of these artists' songs are popular because they had really good music videos for it? Like the content that they put out helped these songs reach people more.
I think the videos do help. Yeah.
Like, I think you've noticed, like, especially now in today's day and age, content creation is everything in terms of getting yourself out there. Like, if you have like a really good video theme or concept and you execute it and it goes well, like, money's in the bag, you're good. TikTok, it's Instagram snippets, it's little Snapchat behind the scenes, or Instagram stories behind the scenes.
And that, like, social media has really affected the music industry too. Like now, you know, artists send out little teasers, little snippets of their music videos, and some artists just like drop their albums, you know, without warning, and fans go crazy. They're like, oh my god, Beyonce dropped an album.
And what's really cool is that because now they're getting more on social media, you're getting to know more about the artist behind, like you're knowing more about the person behind the voice, and I feel like that's what draws people in. It's like, we're not just hearing you, we're now seeing you. And we can
when
see
you follow their
Instagrams
and stuff.
Now I want to be your fan. I love it. Like Jason Derulo, he was kind of 2010s he had some like hit songs here and there. But he only got really popular because he started doing a bunch of stuff on TikTok that showed who he was as a person. And that's why people loved it. People loved the fact that like Jason was this like he sings about these sweet R&B love songs, but then he's also pretty funny. He's pretty hilarious. He's pretty goofy. And sometimes he gets serious. And it's like, I didn't know he had all these layers until I went and I saw he had a bunch of really cool TikTok videos. Speaking of, I also learned that he's a bit of a foodie because every time he hits a million milestone, he does these really cool like instant snack videos, and I honestly want to have some of those snacks. So Jason, invite me over next time you do a million meal.
I remember his Wiggle Wiggle song.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. See,
but
you go from like that person to like this like super cool, chill, funny guy who's also a dad now. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. He just did a song. He collaborated with an Indian artist. Jalebi baby. I just wanted to sing. I like that song. I like that song. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I feel like as an artist, your music should like be in people's minds forever, you know?
I know, and I feel like it's easy with like social media, like it's easy to like connect to that person, so that way they're always in your life, whether it's through their music or through their videos. So yeah, content creation is definitely becoming more of a thing to making music happen.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. But there is some downsides of being successful. Pressure. And what pressure are we talking about exactly?
To stay relevant?
Staying relevant and being the kind of person people have to look up to, or that people want to look up to. I feel is such a huge issue with being like Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus famous. It's like they have like people have so much pressure. And you know what? I'm gonna tie in two topics here that we're thinking of. I feel most of the time it's the like okay, I'll go back to it later, but like a lot of artists, especially like younger artists like Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello, like people who are in their early 20s are now, or even like early to mid 20s, are now considered to be important role models for youth. And I feel like that's why a lot of them did what they did, because they felt so much pressure also. Like they felt this pressure to be this like perfect Barbie, not Barbie, like this like picture perfect, always smiling, always doing good person. And it's like, I'm not a robot or a doll. I'm a human being.
Yes, and we all have flaws. We make mistakes.
Yeah.
All that. We're still growing each and every day. That's to have that pressure on you to be a role model. Because even Miley Cyrus said, she's like, you know, I'm a kid myself. Like I'm not anybody's role model. Like, nobody's kid's role model.
Yeah, she was. The only people forget that Miley herself was a teenager doing a international successful TV show that was also supposed to be for kids, but she's also growing and learning with her audience. She's making the same mistakes that they're making, and it's instead of, you know, most parents passing it off as like a normal teen thing, they put her on this pedestal of like, my daughter's wants to be like you, and I don't want her to be like you if you're gonna be like this. But it's like it's hard.
Yeah, but the thing is, for parents, they're like, their kids like artists like Ariana Grande. And when you look at Ariana Grande now, she does a lot of grown and adult sexy things. That's not for kids, 28. But her fan base, a lot of them are like 12-year-old girls and teenage girls and whatnot.
Same with like Miley Cyrus, like Taylor Swift even has some like really young fans, and like all these. When we were teens, we looked up to people like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, but they were like young. They were like Katy Perry. Actually, Katy Perry's older now. Who's a good again? Like I'm like thinking anything that was like, yeah, like Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez. For me, they were teens or young adults when I was a kid. So it's like I wanted to be like them, but they were also going through so many struggles personally that I didn't even realize was a thing until I was a lot older. So it's like, and like even now, like younger artists now, like people like Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo are already starting to experience that kind of pressure of being a role model. Like Charli D'Amelio is now being put on a pedestal. Like younger influencers who are like only just turning 18 this year are being put on this pedestal because parents' kids like their kids like watching them on TikTok, and it's like my kids see you guys as an example. I need you to be that example for them. But like they're also going and figuring out who they are too.
They are.
So it's definitely hard with being a role model.
Any final thoughts?
Honestly, like the music industry is so interesting with like how things work nowadays.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say too much because we still got a lot more things to talk about on that note, but we are running out of time.
Yes.
So if you want to hear more about that, come back for our next episode.
Bye.
Bye.